Hey guys, Joe here, and today we're starting a video series on the channel called For the Flea Market. What this will be is I've been asked by a couple of my subscribers to show the stuff that I bought with the intent to sell. I originally didn't want to do it because it seemed like all I was doing was just doing videos on stuff I was going to flip to make money. Well, I'm going to start doing a video that is explicitly that. However, I'm also going to be trying to give you some tips and tricks to help you when you're out buying, selling, trading, whatever you want to do, so that you can get the better deal or get the most money for your sale. So, what I'm going to show you is stuff that I've picked up over the course of the last couple of weeks because I went to the sale, but I didn't take some of this stuff because some of it was too expensive. And I will be honest with you, today's video is being filmed after I went to the flea market. However, the flea market sucked today. The weather was beautiful. It was barely 80 degrees, nice breeze out. Everybody was out doing something other than flea marketing. That happens. It's a danger you run into when you do this. But I still have this stuff to show you, and that's the important thing. What I'm going to start with, and I'm sure you saw it in the thumbnail, were some systems. We'll start with the handheld system. This is a Nintendo 3DS XL. It's just a regular first generation XL, but I got this during GameStop's ill-fated or ill-advised buy two get one free during a 60% trade bump period. By trading in a bunch of games, I built up a lot of credit. Now, I did use that credit at the store because when you're getting an extra 50-60% on what you're trading in, it's better to take the trade value because A, you could flip that and turn it into cash, and B, because of the way the sale was going, it actually worked very well in my favor. I actually got 3 of these, and I sold one to a friend, and I traded one in at another store for something. So, it's something to keep in mind. When you see a sale like that, you should probably take advantage of it. Even if it doesn't seem like it's going to give you the best possible return, trust me, it can. And I do have doubts that we're actually going to see GameStop do that kind of sale again for a long time, unless they're going out of business. The next thing I got, and I actually got the next 2 at the sale itself, a complete Nintendo Wii, with the doors, power supply. It actually came with 2 power supplies, 2 Wiimotes, and 2 nunchucks, as well as a Wii Classic controller. As you can see, I had it marked for $10, which is actually a fair price because number 1, it's an actual Nintendo product, and number 2 is because it trades in for $8 and change. So, yeah. But over the course of the sale, I sold the power brick, the extra power brick, for $5. Trades in for 2, so I'll take 5. I also sold the other nunchuck and Wiimote for $10. So between the nunchuck and the Wiimote and the extra power supply, I got back $15 out of the $20 I spent for everything. On top of that, when I went to trade in some other stuff, there was a game inside. It was Pac-Man Party. I don't care about that game, but I got $5 for that. So I basically now have a complete Wii, very nice condition, nunchuck and Wii controller, wrong battery back, but it works, and a brand new, literally never used Wii Classic controller. So that's a pretty awesome pickup. As you know, out at flea markets, you're going to have some people that are just out there to get rid of stuff, and then you're going to have some people out there that are trying to rip you off or make money. I don't go to the flea market with an intention of making $1 billion. I go to the flea market with the intention of making some money, making relationships, friendships, contacts that you can flip later, and it does actually work out, trust me, as well as just hang out for a day or a morning and make a little bit of money. So when I walk around and I see people selling stuff like original Xbox games, sports games, Madden 05 for $10, it makes me laugh out loud. LOL. So after my friend showed up and took over the table for a little while, this was about 10:30, so I was able to go and do my walk around. I did an early walk around. This was my second round. I walked by a table. A lady had an Xbox 360, a wired controller and a wireless controller, and a Turtle Beach headset. And I asked her, how much do you want for it? And she said, 125 bucks. I looked at it, it's 250 gig, but there was nothing with it. And I was like, no, that's fine, I'm gonna pass. She's like, oh, well, I'll take 100. No, 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 no. If you pay $125 for an Xbox 360 Slim that isn't a Star Wars, Gears of War, or Halo's 4, 5, whatever edition, you is dumb. So anyway, I did my round, and I got around to a open area out there. It's a field where there aren't tables. You just set up on blankets or bring your own tables. And there was an older couple that had this Xbox 360, and it's a 250 gig. Power supply, HDMI cable, as well as a wired controller, but I don't use wired controllers except for my PC. And they had $50 on the system itself. Now, the lady, after I looked at it, said, look, I don't want to take it home. I brought it out here 2 weeks in a row. Give me 40 bucks. 40 bucks was still a little bit high in my opinion, just because it's something that's barely worth 50 bucks anymore. But I got her to give me the system and Call of Duty Black Ops 2 for $40. I said, you don't want to take it home, throw in the game, I'll take the system. Which she did. Now, I went in and I traded in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and got $11. And then I traded in the wired controller and got $6. So I got $17 back off of the $40, which means I own this one for $23 and change, which is a good price. I have extra wireless controllers. I'll bundle it together, throw a couple of games in there, and I'll get 50 bucks because I'll put a couple of decent games with it, as well as I'm going to get it nice and clean. It's got like melted chocolate in the vent, so I'm going to take the cover off, blow it out completely, wipe it down, and I'll get 50 bucks without a 250 gig hard drive in it because I'm going to keep that. Not when you drop it, sonny. One of the benefits to working at the store means I can steal the boxes. Makes it easier to store the systems. Just saying. That box is ready to fall over. Okay, last system. And this one did not come from the flea market. This actually came from a coworker of mine. It needs to be cleaned up, but it works well. I watched him reset it. And that is a 500 gigabyte original Xbox One. Not an S, nothing fancy, but it doesn't have to be because the Xbox One is an Xbox One. If you get the S, you do get 4K playback and a couple other features. It's smaller, uses an internal power supply, things like that. But in terms of the games they both play exactly the same games. He needed some cash because he was going on a trip, and I said, hey, I'll buy it from you. Don't trade it in. I'll give you the trade. And I can do that with the coworker, so don't give me any crap. So I did, and I even let him keep the controller and trade in the controller to get a little extra money. So it's not like I ripped him off at all. So he got better than trade-in price for an Xbox One, and I got an Xbox One for a hell of a lot less in retail. I let him keep the controller because I actually have a few. The one that I have bundled with the system currently is a Day One controller. And you can tell the Day One controller because it's got a black chrome D-pad, which the other standard ones do not. Now, one other thing is it does not have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. This one does. If you have one of these and you have one of these and you're going to trade one in, trade the one without the 3.5 millimeter jack. You'll get the same money, but it's worth more to have the 3.5 millimeter jack. Trust me. Taking advantage of the buy two get one free, I did get a few extra controllers because controllers sell pretty easily normally. First one is the Halo controller, which is a very nice looking controller. However, it's not the one that I like the most out of all the controllers I've got. The one I like the most is actually this one. This is the Gears of War red battle damaged controller. As you can see, it's got like claw marks. Yeah. But the most expensive one out of those is actually the JD Phoenix Gears of War 4 controller. This one actually still sells for $63 used, so it's a bit much for just an Xbox One S controller, especially considering that's an S controller, and this one was only, it was marked at 40 or 54, but with the Pro membership you get it for 47 versus 64, so that's crazy, but at least they're good stuff to have at the flea market. I always need cords. That's a Nintendo cord, that's a PlayStation cord, that's a PlayStation cord. I got these for $1 a piece, despite a guy I know out there claiming that he wanted to keep the one that I gave him because it was worth money. Sorry, a little bit parched. In preparation for the sale, I did use some more of my buy two get one free stuff, and I got a few games. I actually sold a copy of Deadpool on Xbox One, as well as something else that I can't remember. Darn memory, getting old. But what I have right now is Mega Man, the Legacy Collection, complete. Even has the stickers and the names and all that stuff in here. That's cool. Dead Rising 2, which is actually more expensive when you go to buy it than Dead Rising 3. I'm guessing it has more popularity. Minecraft Xbox One Edition. And probably the most expensive one, but it's still, in my opinion, one of the best games on Xbox One, is Forza Horizon 3. I rubber banded it to the Steelbook. This is an extra Steelbook I had laying around, because a bunch of people were coming up to me and saying, hey man, would you just sell the Steelbook? And no, I want to sell them together. So, also picked up on the 360 Deadpool, as well as Grid 2. So these are all games that I want to sell at the flea market, and I should be able to pretty easily. Of course, I still have my Forza 4 Steelbook. I love this thing, but if somebody pays me enough money for it, I will separate myself from it, because it's actually a $50 collector's edition. And it has the Steelbook, the art book, and games that are, the discs that are pristine. Out at the sale today, I did pick up a couple of games for me, and for $1, that is Star Wars The Force Unleashed on PS2. The case is not the greatest, but I've got a bunch of extra cases. For $1.50 each, I got a black label copy of Need for Speed 510. Hot Shots Golf Part 3, Open T2. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And they're all black label, and they were $1.50 a piece. My buddies have a booth at there, and they gave me a good deal. And it's actually the same deal you can walk in and get, so it's not like I'm super special, but they hooked me up. And I'm actually going to be working with them in terms of getting a bunch of Game Boys and PS3 stuff and fixing it for them. So that way I can earn some money without having to actually outlay any cash. You know, he's got a bunch of Game Boys that have the missing lines and stuff like that. For another $1, I got Gex 3 on Game Boy Color. Don't know why. It was $1 and it looked fun. I guess that's why. It was $1 and it looked fun. Huh. Look at that. I had a random game sitting here, and it's another copy of Open T2. So, guess I didn't need to buy that one. But whatever. Near the end of the sale, and here's where I'm going to give you the first tip for the first episode. At the end of the sale, if you're willing to wait and risk not being able to find something, go around about an hour before the sale ends. Now, if you go to flea markets a lot, you'll know that even though they claim they're open till 4 or 5, generally about an hour or so after lunch is when the people that know start packing up. That's when I start packing up, 12:30, 1 o'clock, because you have the after church rush, the people that just ate lunch, and then that's really going to be it for the rest of the day, unless you're sitting there hoping that somebody's going to come and give you money. So I'm starting to pack up, but I decided to do one little walk around in my area, and I go over to a acquaintance booth. I'm not going to call him a friend because I can't really say we've talked that much, but he's an acquaintance, and he gave me a hell of a deal on some stuff. For $18, I got Super Mario 3D World, Land on Nintendo 3DS, new Super Mario Bros. For the DS, and Mario Kart for the DS. $18 is a really good price for that. He was being nice, he was being generous. It's the end of the sale. He's like, you know what, I need to make a few more sales. So there you go. He was complaining because these two games did not have cases. So he gave me these for $4 a piece, and he gave me this one for $10. So that's good because these trade in very well. unless I decide to bundle them with the system. Now for next weekend, I do have to get some systems working. I have a bunch of DS lights that need cases, although I don't have cases, so I'm going to do like a mismatch thing, as well as a couple DSIs that need some repairs. And I did finally locate one of my kits that has all my security bits, so that'll help. Is that it? Yes, yes it is. I will show you one last thing. This is something my buddy gave me. I actually traded him my Mirror's Edge Catalyst statue, which you saw in this video here, because number one, this is Iron Man. Number two, this is a very, very hard to get Iron Man. When Lego's Dimensions or the Avengers Age of Ultron Dimensions came along, you could not buy this version of the Iron Man in the game bundle, as it would be. This was handed out when you bought the game, and it's very rare. It's the Silver Centurion. I'm not going to open it because I only have one, and they sell for over $25. So yeah, but otherwise it's pretty cool. It's going to go in my Iron Man collection. So that's it. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave those down below. If you have any comments, leave those down below. Again, I'm sorry if the audio is having issues. I upload it to my computer, and it seems like the audio doesn't quite translate over as well as I was hoping it would. But I'll get it figured out. Yeah, so if you're not subscribed, go ahead and click on my face. I don't know why, but my nose just got stuffed up. If you'd like to become a Patreon, click up there. And if you'd like to watch something else, just click over here. And, as always, I'll talk to you later.